Hello and welcome to Gear for Music. I'm Matt and today I'm looking at the Boss WAZA Amp Head and cabinets. The Japanese term waza embodies the highest level of art and technique achieved through years of tireless dedication to one's craft. Like the acclaimed WAZA Craft pedal series, this new amp and cabinet proudly carry the WAZA name and symbol to represent the pinnacle of Boss's technical knowledge, design wisdom and craftsmanship. This WAZA Amp Head is Boss's very first professional guitar amplifier. It's a rugged 150-watt amp that can be downscaled to 1 watt of power, making it perfectly suited for home use as well as stage. It and the 2x12 and 4x12 companion cabinets are rooted in the long history of rock amp development, delivering the original sound of the very first rock stack amp. Consistent with the evolution of the ideal rock sound, the Boss engineers have also developed their own interpretation, which is called the Waza Brown Sound. Now, this delivers an expressive range from vintage to Waza Brown with modern expandability and reliability, breaking new ground in the amp market to realize the ideal rock sound. I'm plugged into the 4x12 cabinet, so let's have a play, listen to some of the sounds, and then we'll go into the details. Here we go. Okay, so let's go over some of the features of the Boss WAZA Amp Head. So as you can see here, there's an amplifier selector knob for amp character variation. We've got the legendary rock tone in the internal position and the Waza Brown Sound in the amplifier A position as a pre-installed tone capsule. This is composed of a 3U rack-mountable unit and a dedicated wooden head cabinet. This is a reliable, maintenance-free 150-watt solid-state power amp designed with discrete circuitry. We also have a 4-way power control at 1 watt, 50 watts, 100 watts, 150 watts max. Now this allows for sweet power tube distortion at any volume. It has modern expandability for various situations with effects loops, line out with airfield control function, foot controller, MIDI capabilities and more. So whether you go for the 4x12 or 2x12 matching cabinets, they're both perfectly designed for maximum compatibility. Turning up gain affects pre-tube harmonics and compression, whilst the volume control affects power tube harmonics and compression as well. We recommend adjusting your settings past 12 o'clock on both to dial into your ideal sweet spot. Also, the EQs are set after pre-tube but before the power tube section, but experiment with these settings to suit your style and taste. The standard amp recreates a classic 70s and 80s EL34 valve circuit, whilst the Waza Brown Sound gives you the ultimate hot-rodded 70s and 80s stack sound. Okay, so while we're on the subject, we're going to answer some popular questions regarding this new range of amp heads and cabinets. So the first question is, do we need a dummy load for silent recording with USB or line out? And the answer is no, this all works perfectly fine without. Another question is, with a 16 ohms cabinet, does Waza amp output drop by half like an ordinary solid state amp? Again, the answer is no. Waza amp has a special power amp circuit that produces a 150 watt output for both 16 and 8 ohms. Next question, how does airfeel work? Well, it works only for USB and line out, not the actual cabinet itself. Airfeel is a newly developed mic'd up sound which provides resonance and room ambience when recording direct out to your recording software. And with that, you can get a much more realistic in the studio or live stage experience. Does it come with a foot switch as standard? Yes, it does. It comes with the Boss GAFC foot switch that allows you to switch between clean, crunch, lead 1 and lead 2 channels. It also allows you to engage one or both of the effects loops, which can be run in series or parallel. Can I play this amp at home without disturbing anyone? Yes, you can. Not only can it be scaled down to 1 watt, but there's also a headphone socket which has an emulated speaker output. As we mentioned earlier, the Boss WAZA Amp Head has the Waza Brown tone capsule pre-installed as standard. This is essentially another 4-channel amp voicing unit. There's also the option of adding a further tone capsule, such as the new Steve Vai Legacy series. You even have the option of switching between the 3 different amp voicings using MIDI or as using the Boss ES5 or ES8 switching systems as part of your rig. Boss's Waza craftsmanship, with the inherited spirit of historical masters, has evolved into a 150 watt amp head and cabinets with the ideal rock sound for gigging. In essence, the Boss WAZA is a high-end professional amp and cabinet for the player. For more information on the Boss WAZA amp or indeed any of our range of amps and cabinets, please visit the Gear for Music website. Thanks for watching.